I can get pretty hungry out there on the trail. And since I'm also a huge nerd, instead of just grabbing a random snack like a normal person, let's grab some of the most common energy bars and assess them using a blind taste test. And a nutrition spreadsheet, because that's what everyone comes to this channel for. Spreadsheets. Anyway, these are the bars I picked. I tried to go with options that'd be available almost anywhere and then pick flavors that appealed to me. We'll get into the nutrition later, but first let's do the important part, the taste test. To give each bar a fair shake, I wanted to make it a blind taste test, so I coded each bar with a letter. Then it was time to cut a roughly equivalent section of each bar and place them into corresponding bags. Here's what I ended up with. Okay, so in my opinion, the only way to do a real, true, fair taste test is to be testing these energy bars in the circumstance where I would actually be eating them, which is out on the trail after a bunch of riding. So today I'm gonna go ride around until I'm feeling hungry and worn out, and then I'm gonna try each of these bars, and we'll see which one tastes the best and which one I feel the most like eating in those circumstances. According to the watch, we've gone about 7 miles. I like to go about 10 before we do a snack break, so. So I'm back home at the end of a 14-mile ride, which I should probably save while I'm thinking of it. I was gonna stop during the ride and do my snack test then, but it was just absolutely mosquito town if I stopped for even 2 seconds. So we're gonna do it now. Got all of our items in there. Pull them out here. What I'm gonna do is just put this down and then hold this up to the camera, so hopefully that can see what the letter is. I don't see it, but we're gonna try whatever this one is first. I'm going to rate these on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is I'm never eating this again, and 5 is it's fantastic. I would say that's about a 4. There's no need to actually watch this whole thing, but I'll speed through it so that I can demonstrate the integrity of my test. As it turned out, I rated most of the bars a 4, which means liked but not loved. The Clif Nut Butter Filled got a 3.5, the Bob's Red Mill Oat Bar got a 3, and sadly the Rxbar got a 2. Not so much because it tasted bad, but because it stuck to my teeth. Taste isn't the only thing that matters in a trail snack though, so now we'll go to the spreadsheet. I'll share a link to this in the video description so you can make your own copy and mess with it if you want. But on top here, I've filled in and normalized all of the nutrition facts so that we can compare different bars directly. Then, on the bottom, I've set up a simple scoring system that factors in the healthiness and my taste results to give each bar a final score. If a bar's price per gram is below average, it gets a price point. If its carbs are above average, it gets a fuel point. It goes on like that with points for having less sugar, a point penalty for above average added sugar, and a point for what I'm calling whole ingredients, which in my case just means I knew what everything on the ingredient list was. Of course, taste is the most important thing, so that accounts for half the total score. When everything's plugged in, the top scorers are Larabar and Red, which is pretty surprising to me because I wouldn't have picked either of them just from looking at the supermarket shelf. The third place finisher, Bobo's Chocolate Chip Oat Bar, probably wouldn't have been my choice either. Anyway, if you hated this video, don't worry. This is not turning into a spreadsheets and food channel. I'll be back to pure bike stuff in the next video. But I do think this was an interesting experiment. Honestly, just from looking at them, probably Larabar and the Bobos would have been among my last choices, but it turns out, by my own standards, they're actually the best. There's probably a lesson here about how we're influenced by packaging. I mean, how could this Clif bar with a Shima Shirashi sending on it not be the best one? The world is an unjust place. Anyway, thanks for watching. and I'll see you next week.